So now the thing is that I'll be going to the share option to show the slides so that you'll be comfortable uh, seeing that slides. Okay, I'm going over there. Okay, now I hope you can see the slides from that angle. Everybody, can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. There will be more slides. Don't worry. I'll be putting lot of slides, and in that case, you have to go through it. Now, what is the business capability? As I said just now, that it is the expression of the capacity, materials, and expertise an organization needs in order to perform its core functions. Now, core functions means, in SWOT analysis, you know very well that your strengths, there, this you have to identify. And for example, there are some companies, even pharma companies also. Now they are in the business of pharma for a long period of time. That is their core function because they know their expertise. They are very strong in that area. So there are some general capabilities which are given below. That also I given literacy, numeracy, then creative thinking. Number four is information and communication technology capacity, personal and social capability, ethical understanding, and intercultural understanding. Now, here, when we are talking about this, there are some general capabilities which obviously this will help you when you are doing business. Now, as you see, literacy, because unless you are educated, you will not understand the importance of knowledge. So, it's better that you get educated. Numeracy, that means you should be comfortable with numbers. And then because there are some people who are not very comfortable, but they can get slowly if you regularly do that work, numeracy we call. Then we have creative thinking. Now, creative means you should think in a different way. I told you in last lecture, America basically this is a land of innovations. Creative thinking we call. So there you see a lot of innovations are taken place. Now you'll be surprised how many patents they are having. And you see it is the land of innovations, creativity. So there basically you have to think in a different way. And because when you are innovative, don't forget that basically you have the competitive advantage in today's world. Now today also for an information I will tell you, I'll share, I know you might be knowing it also. Even Niti Aayog, our planning body over there, they have said that basically you must think in a new way, innovative way. Now, why you should do it? Innovative increases your competency, competitiveness. That is what we want in this current environment, where there is a cutthroat competition in every field. So, unless you innovate, I don't think that survival will be there. Say doing the same old things again and again, how many years you are going to do it? So companies needs to be, corporates needs to think in a different directions. That we call it as a creative thinking. Then information and communication technology. Now this I don't have to overemphasize on this IT technology. You are all already IT students, so I don't want to say anything about the communication technology. Already we are using a lot of this communication like internets, WhatsApp, this, that. There are a lot of areas. So that slowly and steadily you should develop. Even if you don't know, you have to be with the times. Then there is a personal and social capability. Now, social capability, that means how you interact and everything. So that comes under the social capability, how you talk with the people. Maybe say in that case, written communication, or sometimes it also comes orally also how you talk with the people, because that will give you business. Then there is ethical understanding today in the present world. Ethics basically, that basically it is very important. Ethics means what is wrong and right. So obviously in today's world, we are thinking about not the wrong things, but the right things. So ethical understanding. And then we have this intercultural understanding. Now you see, you'll be working in an environment where I think employees from different countries also they'll be employed. For example, I'll give you, there are a number of countries, not one example. I can give you at least 50 examples where people from different, uh, countries, they'll be working with you as an employee. Now, in that case, you should understand their culture also because they have brought up under that culture. We have brought up under this culture. Then somebody else is with a different culture. So the thing is that if you understand that culture, then it will be more adaptability, I will say. So that is we call that as intercultural. Culture means a way of life, how you work. Every company has got a particular culture. For example, Tata companies, they got a particular culture in that organization. So you see in this Ambanis, they got different. Adanis also, they have got different culture. So companies also have got a subculture, or we call that they also are very comfortable with a particular way of working in an organization. So these are all the general things. I am not going into the particular. Now, a business capability, you see, is a functional building block of the business architecture that supports the business model and the business strategy. You see, this business models also has to be changed in accordance with the circumstances. So it defines the organization's capacity to perform the business activity. Now you see, because in this Corona era, in this COVID-19 situation, you have seen that lot of businesses they have closed or they have closed the shops. Now, what is the reason behind it? The reason is obviously one that basically the thing they are not able to adapt. The new business models they have not formulated. Then in that case, it becomes very, very difficult because a business should be capable to work under the new situations. So like that, the business architecture has to change. Lot of business models. Now, today, for example, I'll give you this technology. Now, this technology is coming in a very big way. How fast you are going to adapt to this technology, it is also a question mark. If you adapt fast, then I think you are competitive. So technology is coming not only in this pharma or financial organizations where they are showing the efficiency of doing business. It increases the efficiency of doing business. So this capability, it means how you adapt, how you are capable of handling the new situation, the new normal. So business capability means what a company needs to be able to be successful. Now ultimately you have to survive. Don't forget that you have to pay salaries to your employees, rents, insurance, other things also, other overheads are there. Even the taxes the government is getting, they also want taxes. So each business capability is independent from other business capabilities. Now, see, every business is different. That you also know. In short, business processes, human resources, as well as IT applications and technical resources are combined to fulfill one functionality. One functionality means your function is to see that you work in proper direction, and the direction obviously you have decided, your goals you have decided, your what exactly where you want to reach, what is the sales, what is the profits, what is the capital, what are the products. That obviously it is your job when you are working as an executive. Don't forget that this strategy you have to make, formulate, and then implement also. So we'll be studying in the next slide about this strategy formulation and implementation. But here we are only talking about the capability. Now, once you see, because you should be capable of handling the new situations. So The thing is that each business capability is independent from other business capabilities. In short, business processes, human resources, as well as IT and technical resources are combined because everybody, they have to go together just like a team. In a company, we know human resources, there are people working, then IT applications there also. So everybody is doing their job. Just like a basketball team, cricket team, you must understand that the main aim is to see that you reach the goals. The main aim is to reach the goals. So ultimately, whether it is a technical resource, human resource, capital resource, land resource, whatever, even knowledge resource, knowledge is also we call that as a resource. Even sometimes in the new era, today I'm hearing that even entrepreneurship that is also a resource. Because if you think in a different way, in America, you see, I told you just now also, that if you think in a different way, the land of innovations, there also in Singapore also there are constantly, some new innovations are coming. In Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, they are small countries, but you see how capable they are. They adapted to the new situations very fast, especially South Korea, Taiwan. You see this basically, even Hong Kong also for that matter. But the thing is that you have to see that how fast you adapt to the new situations. So a business is capable of handling the new situations in a better way. For that reason, as I told you, that innovations holds the key. You have that increases your competitiveness. So that is the reason it is very important. Now, next slide. Now, again, I am focusing on the area. What are your strengths? And you have to keep on increasing your strong points and even the weak points also. Because there also, if one is not very well versed with the technological area, there also you have to focus and build up. Because there also that increases your competitiveness. So competitive advantage you must have because there is a race in the market. You have to deploy your resources correctly. Enterprises and any enterprise, you have to see that the resources they are correctly used, judiciously used. So once we know the business capabilities of an enterprise, they can be organized into the business capability map. Don't forget a company which is unorganized or not organized, they find very difficult to face the future. That means in the competition map, they will not be there if you are not organized. So you have to see that whatever the resources, you have identified the resources, you see that they are so organized so that the business will benefit from this. I told you just now about basketball team, hockey team, cricket team, whatever teams are, they get organized. Various departments are there in a game. I gave the example of, say, wicket keeper or bowler or batsman. They have to come together and see that ultimately their main aim is to win the match. So, based on such a map, there is a business capability map. You have to see that the business is at the that level where your competitors they are heading for. So, based on such a map, enterprise can identify those business capabilities which are essential for their success. Now you see what are the things that are required for reaching that particular goal. So whether it is technology, right type of people, capital, how much capital you want, only money is not going to solve the problem. This much I can tell you. I have seen many of the companies they only talk about money, but that is one of the resource. Why can't you think about innovations? Why can't you think about other things? As I told you, entrepreneurship is also one of the resource. So there also innovations. Why can't you think about this? Money comes by itself. Niti Aayog, our planning body in India also they have emphasized that you go for innovations, then Government of India will also give the incentives. So there is a push by Government of India also. You do the work. See who comes first. The money doesn't come first. You should understand the innovation comes first, then the money follows. This is what the statement of Niti Aayog is. So you must understand the government of India is also, and we also know that we must be innovative first. Why you are thinking about money first? Money will follow. So the thing is that you have to see, you have to identify those business capabilities which are essential. That means if you want success, if you want to reach a particular level, what are the qualities that are required? Now we have studied so many general qualities also, but we have to see those particular qualities also which are required. For example, say technology. I have already mentioned. And what are the things your competitors they are also having, which you don't have? Then you have to update that. You have to upgrade that. Then in that case, what are the qualities you have to see? The roadmap, the action plan. According to that, you have to have an action plan. Yes, I want to reach the top at this point of time. Otherwise, the survival becomes difficult. The market share, which you will be capturing, that will be less and less and less. And slowly and steadily, that company may be thrown out of the market. It will have a very less market share. And from there again to climb up, it will be a difficult job. So, business capability in short, you have to be capable of handling the changed, I will use the word change situation. Now, there's a beautiful example about this COVID era. Obviously, there is a change. Are you adapting to the change? You see, there are so many of the sectors, they have, either closed down their shops or they are just working, so-so. That means they are not, for example, say, hospitality sector, aviation sector, tourism sector. There are so many sectors we are lagging behind. So we have to upgrade. Now the time is there. Every company should focus on the strong and weak points. So capability should increase now. Now, how many years we are just going to think about Corona and Corona and Corona? Why can't we overtake Corona now? 1 year has already gone. So now the things are, we know that this thing will be there for another so many years. Nobody knows about it. So adaptability, okay, then only you can be sustainable in the long run. Adapt to the situation slowly, steadily. I'm not saying immediately because nobody knows that how this corona, how many years it will be there or how many days it will be there, nobody knows. So we have to handle the situation as it comes. We call that as a capability. So the enterprise also needs to analyze new business capabilities. So what are the things that are required in the new situations? Okay, the changes that are coming in the environment. You see, there are a lot of changes which are coming. How you are going to see now today, everybody is ordering. For example, I'm just giving the food also. This is ordered online. We are doing it. Everybody is doing it. Even food also we are ordering online, and even materials which are household essentials, they are also ordered online. So in a way, why we are doing this? Because sitting in the house, you can get all the things which are essential for you. So this is how the things are there. So ultimately, you have to see that the changes which are there, take it head on. Don't try to escape. You have to take the risk. I know there is a risk over there. Everywhere there is a risk. When you change, there is an amount of risk. Either this is going to work or it is not going to work. So let us go further now. Now, business capability maps provide a common communication basis to illustrate the transformation needs to the business. Since IT can structure and formulate its required in a functional way. Now, IT is coming to your help. Okay. Now, here we are trying to see that the transformation is coming very fast. You see, even the business places, they are also changing. That means we need a very big business place, but today people they are working from the houses. Is it not the change? Is it not the transformation? So there is a transformation that is sitting in the house. You can work without affecting the quality and quantity of the work. So IT has enabled it sitting in the house. Otherwise, it is not possible. IT has come to the help, and the main thing is internet. You see, internet we are using more or less regularly. So business capability models are structured in hierarchical manner. Each higher level business capability includes multiple constituting lower level capabilities. Now, of course, that is hierarchical in the sense each higher level business capability includes multiple constituting lower level. At the highest level, considered as zero level, all business capabilities can be separated in the customer facing, that is front office capabilities, and operation, that is back office capabilities. Now, as I told you, these capabilities you have to understand, because at the highest level, what is the thing that you want? You have to identify, you have to structure in a hierarchical manner. And you see that this is the most important thing that I am going to do. That is higher level business capability. So this, if you identify, then the lower, what is the thing one by one, it follows. So we call that as a front office and back office capabilities. The top level businesses can also be organized according to the main organizational functions. Top level, when you are thinking, because you'll be working the top level, enable, manage, and run, okay, or taking care about the core activities of the value chain. Example, logistics, especially when you are working, because some of you may be working in the top level, executive level, I'll say, or a manager level, you can take, you can say. Then in that case, you have to see that there are some functions which you have to overlook. So you have to take care about the core activities, because the company, basically, what are the core activities of a value chain? It is the logistics. Sorry, it is the operations, regular operations of the company. Then there is the sales. Then there is the service. You have to manage all these things in the right way, in a proper functional way. Of course, you can take the help of technology. Human resource is also there. Capital is also there. Innovations, they are also there. But when you are leading from the front, all these things are very, very vital. And these core activities which the organization has, because see, I'll tell you one thing, why logistics is important, because ultimately through logistics, all that products has to reach the customer. If the logistics is not handled properly, how the products is going to reach the customer? Absolutely simple. Then our regular operations in the company, now whether it is you are employed a lot of human resources or not, that you have to see. If they are there, are they coming in the right time? Are they doing the work properly and all these things? That has to be done. Of course, you can employ the technology in a big way, no doubt, reducing the manpower to the bare minimum. Because the thing is that regular operations should not be, because in India, especially these things are happening, we have a heavy population. Then in that case, it should not, the operations of the company, it should not be disrupted because of unions and everything. We have strong labor laws also over here. So we have to be very careful about all these things. The customer should not be affected, because in the private sector, this is very important. Then sales and service, I don't have to overemphasize that you have to keep an eye on the sales. It is obviously if the sales go down, then the company will be running in a very difficult area. That means if the sales and service, if it is diluted, then in that case, I'll tell you one thing, that the customer will not be happy, and he will be also informing other his friends, relatives, and they will be discussing among themselves that this company's products are not up to the mark. So you will be working in the top level business capabilities. I know some of you may be going for masters also. I have my students over there in MBAs. So there also, then you will have a more broader outlook, more knowledge over there, how to run an organization in a more effective way. So capability basically means capable, capable of handling the new situations, and that too fast. That too fast. This is very important. It should not take years to increase the capacity. Capabilities means capacity. The business capacity should increase, and capacity should increase in all directions. I am not talking about only the capital should increase, the money supply, but the human resources, their ability, their competency, that should also increase. I also told you that innovations has to be the key focus area in a company. I'm seeing because I have visited so many companies, I know very well that basically, and of course, now that there is a change, I'm not saying anything about this for the last 1 year. We must have a innovation officers post or innovation managers post in an organization. It is very essential. The thing is that many of the organizations, especially I am seeing in India, we don't have an innovation officer over there. So you have realized now during this COVID situation that is we must have an innovation or creative department over here. And I don't have to overemphasize on the importance of this department. That means if the company doesn't go for innovations, then certainly that is a handicap to the company in the long run. So you know about it. Innovations in India, especially, I have not seen. I visited nearly so many companies, but the innovations officer now they realize that we need innovations in the company. Some new things has to be there. Customer will obviously not be happy. You see America or even Japan also. So every day something new is coming in the market. Don't you think that we also do the same thing? Even China also for that matter. I'm seeing that even Taiwan, then all these companies, even I will tell you South Korea, they are very innovative. So you see, because that why I am focusing on these things, new and new products should be coming in the market. Now, whether it is TVs or whether it is say mobiles, electronic equipments, iPhones, or even washing machines, the common needs of the people. See, the ease of living that also should be simplified. So there also, if you focus, you can make money. You see Samsung now, they have got multiple products over there. Expansion holds the key. Then the lower level business capabilities are much more and fine grained in simple form. What is business capability? Now, business capability models can show only structured set of nested business capabilities and sub capabilities. Now, as you know, the main capabilities, what are the main capabilities? That means, for example, one by one, we'll be discussing what exactly you want. For example, say you have to see the IT, infrastructure that has to be upgraded. Then your supply chain, then e-business models that I'll be also showing you the slides. So all this, whether because the customer wants faster delivery, if you are not giving the service the proper way, obviously he is not happy. Then sub capabilities that we already learned, that communications, how you communicate with others, these are all the things. They also are very very important. The sub capabilities. So those are also you have to structure in that format over there. When you talk about business capability, so business capability don't only think about the main focus areas, but there are sub capabilities also that also you have to take care of because you may have invested heavily on the IT. You may have the right people, but the problem is that suppose if your people, I mean your employees especially, or even executives, I would say, now if they are not having proper communications and all these things, if they don't have an innovation people with them, then definitely they are lacking in the market. Definitely, I will say that they are lacking in the market. So here the thing is that everything should go together. You have to win a match. It's just like winning a match. When you are winning a match, every player should contribute to the fullest. Otherwise, winning the match it is not possible. Now we are having a complex business capability models. Okay. Now here when we talk about the complex business capability models, often include an organization mission, strategy and vision, laying down its long-term goals. We'll be studying more in the business strategy, objectives and constraints, and even show the most important elements of its external business environment that should be taken into account during strategic planning. Now, of course, this strategic planning, I'll be going to the next slide after this. But you should understand one thing that every organization has a vision, a strategy. They have to be. If you don't have visions, of course, mission comes afterwards. These are nothing but a organizational mission means short-term goals or tactics we call. So laying down, first of all, the long-term goals. you should first of all see that what are the long-term goals. Long-term in the sense, say after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever you have, whatever you are set, where you want to go, where you want to achieve. Now, if you are confused over there, then I don't think that you can win, you can reach the goals. Then objectives and constraints. What are the constraints reaching over there? So this also should be very, very, because there may be certain problems reaching over there. Your competitors may reach over there fast. I'm telling you, companies like TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, they are very, very fast moving and they reach the goals very, very fast. It's a good thing because they know that they are very strong in IT infrastructure. They are the right type of people. Then only all these things are quite possible. So, and moreover, I don't have to emphasize on the quick delivery of service. So that is also that. Especially I'm talking about this top IT companies, even Wipro also. So key competitors. Now here we have to see that who are the competitors, especially when you are working. You have to see that there are some competition also. Who are the competitors for that? Then major suppliers. Now, as I'm telling you, because I'll be telling you afterwards in the slides, who are the major suppliers also. Because you should have in your database at least about 6, 7, or 10 suppliers in your database. Because nobody should cheat you. And moreover, if somebody is doing some mischief, you can change the supplier. In e-business models, it is very easy to find out. So who are your major suppliers? Because they are also part of the supply chain. So target markets, where you want to exactly hit the make money. This we call it as a target markets. Their core customer groups, as I am telling you, I always tell in my sessions that basically who are your customer groups, call them for a meeting. Through internet also you can have a chat, or you can also talk to through video conferencing. All these things, they help you because you should take the customer on board. Then industry regulators also are there. Who are the regulators of the industry? What are the rules, regulations? Are they followed in totality? The reason why I'm telling you, because sometimes I'll give one a very good example. Now, if you are destroying the environment, for example, say pollution and everything, then in that case, you know very well that if you destroy the pollution, then in other countries also, I'm telling you, there are strong penalties. If you go to Europe, if you go to other Scandinavian countries, if you destroy, if you pollute the atmosphere, there are very strong penalties over there. Now, can you afford? That is paying these penalties. You are working, the company is working, and due to this industry regulators, the rules don't over there, then in that case, you are at a loss. That means you cannot work over there. So here we have to understand the target market, then who are the customer groups. Customer groups also you should take on board. That means you can have regular meetings with them, chat with them, and ask them, the relation between the customer and the company. It should be very, very, closer. Don't forget that they are giving the bread and butter also. So with this, basically, industry regulatory, I think, business capability models are often used for strategic plannings uh, of about 3 to 5 years ahead in futures. No, because you have to adapt. It takes time to adapt. I know. That is the reason this 3 to 5 years ahead planning is there. Business executives and architects usually discuss relative importance of different business capabilities from the strategic view. Identify the capabilities requiring the most significant enhancement in the long run. In some cases, completely new business capabilities that need to develop from scratch. That is also possible. I'm telling you, we have to start from ABC. We call that process as a business process re-engineering. So that is also quite possible. You have to go and go to the drawing board and you see right from ABC. You have to from the scratch. You have to see that some new business model. If that is coming, for example, today I will give you one very good example. It is about say electric cars or electric scooters. You see, this is a completely new area now. But Mahindras and others, they are already on the job and they are doing very nicely. Even Bajaj also. So here, completely new business model is coming now. Earlier, we were dependent on petrols and diesels and everything. But today, we are identified that petrol will be scarce after some point of time. Even Saudi Arabia has told, their king has told, that their wells may be depleted by 2030. Then how you are going to rely on this oil for a long period of time? So this is also there. So here we have to see the business capability model, how you have to change. Sometimes you have to see that the new business model is adapted as fast as possible. While some existing capabilities that lose their importance may be removed as irrelevant. Now again, I am telling you because sometimes it does happen that some business processes or some business products may not be relevant in today's market. So irrelevant we call. So in that case, you have to remove these products and substitute them with some new products as people accept the new change or transformation or transition. So business capability models, many other uses in organization. So it also helps the company to recognize the new skills. Of course, as I told you, the word is skilling. That is, these skills also has to be updated in accordance with the strategic long-term goals. So here we have to see that what are the skills that are also required for the long-term goals of the organizations. Now that slowly and steadily, if you keep on adapting, then the company will have no problem with these employees over there. So this business capability model, thus to build business capability model, we have to identify each business capability. So this means the right skilling, right knowledge, right customers, right technology. It is very, very important in today's day over here. That is, if you want to survive, then the capacity or business capability model should change according to the situation which is there in the market. Now, with this, now actually I want to interact with this. Let's see how. Yes. Now
Sure.
I think let us interact for some moment before going to the strategic
Yes, sir.
formulation and planning. Then I want to see that how you interact. Can somebody tell me? Yes, I can start with yes. Akansha, can you tell what is business capability in short? Can you explain in a few words? Akansha, please, please be vocal because there will be vivas also. Yes, what is business capability? Can you explain? Yes, Satvik, can you
Uh,
start? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, Akansha is coming. Okay, very
yeah.
good.
So business capability can be explained as the extent to which a business organization can go in order to fulfill its objectives.
Okay. So, are anything, some new things which are also required, especially if I'm taking Corona into account?
Yes, the technological advancements would be required in order to make our business more efficient, because
Mhm.
otherwise then it will be very difficult for our business organization to compete with all the other organizations in the market.
Okay. Now I'll ask Wilfred Daniel. Wilfred, are you there? Now I want to ask you one very simple question. Now, can you tell me any companies which you know, because this is a practical question, any companies which you know, you can tell even foreign companies or domestic companies which have adapted to the new situation in India or even in foreign countries also, adaptability or business
Uh,
capability.
yes, so I think companies like I think it's Amazon or Flipkart. It's one of these companies which have started selling like grocery items, and even Swiggy, which was completely something like an application which was for only ordering food from restaurants, has now moved to delivering grocery items, because in this you can say in this era where people are scared to go out, they can actually like get the items delivered to their doorstep.
Correct. This is a very good. Can you tell, yes, I will now come to say Tanmay Banerjee. Tanmay, you can give some Indian company which you know, small companies for that matter, if they are adapting to the new situations. Any other example from India? Yes, Tanmay.
So I'm not aware of the small companies.
Okay.
So recently, like Indigo started some kind of business strategy. Like
Okay.
because of the COVID, they started to give the flights at a very less rates to the needy people, like who want to travel from here to there, like the laborers and all.
Okay. But is it a good strategy? I mean, I'm talking from the capability point of view.
Sir,
That
I
it is
think
the capability.
I don't
No,
think so.
no,
It
they
is
are
a good
doing social
strategy.
service. I am not talking about social service. But the point is that, see, the business model should be that sustainable. No. Has this increased the business capability?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that should increase their skills. That should increase their potential. They should increase the money supply because ultimately you have to survive in the new situations. So that is the reason I use the word innovations. Sarma, you will agree that the innovations holds the key to success in today's world. Correct? No?
Sir, like that, we can take an example of the banks maybe because if it's like the home loans thing, they were there were some banks and the companies. Uh, so basically, the home loans which they have on the EMIs and all, they were like for 2 3 years, but they got bifurcated into more number of years. So the interest was charged a bit more for that. So that can be taken as a strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Certain modifications, yes, I agree with you, Tanmay, because
Okay,
these
sir.
even there are small things, but they go in a big way in
Yeah.
developing your profit potential. I agree with this. Because the thing is that capability means you should be capable of adapting to the new situations. If you are not able to do it, whether in a small way or a big way, and that too fast, because internet is helping you, technology is helping you, then why you cannot do it when competitors they are doing it? And you should look at the competitors. Even small, countries. I gave you the example like South Korea, or even countries like Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, when they are able to make a mark, even you'll be surprised. Our neighbors, Bangladesh, now they are doing very well in that export area. I heard, I seen the figures in Bangladesh. Don't call that as a very poor country. On the contrary, that is their growth rate is much higher than India's also. You see, because see, they are overtaking India, they are crossing India now. Now, this is we call that as a competitive advantage. That is the reason I told that innovations and everything should be there if you want to stay ahead in the. See, the thing is that the principle of small is big is also very important because Bangladesh is a small country, but they are doing in a big way. They are renovating, they are exporting their products, which I am seeing in other countries. Even in the UK or US also, their products are sent because of the cheap labor and they are skilling. They know how to penetrate in the international markets. So like this business capability is there. I hope that these concepts are clear because I'll be going to the strategic implementation after this. Anybody has got any questions regarding or anybody wants
So,
to add something?
yes, so
Yes,
me.
what's the name?
So this is Oran.
Quran. Okay, you can add something. Yeah.
No, so I don't want to add anything. On slide 5 also, there's this point. The lower level business capabilities are much more and fine grained. So what are the lower level business capabilities?
Fine means you have to say, see, there are upper level and lower level. That you are working in an organization, okay, you are working in an organization. What are the main skills that are required? What are the sub skills? Means communications and everything. Those are also required. No, see, unless you speak well, talk well, you engage people, and all these things, the business relations. These are also the things. Some of the things which are also required when you are handling out businesses. For example, I'll give you there are some companies like TCS. I have seen they speak so nicely because that even our Indian government, we got a very good Prime Minister also. He also speaks so nicely. So these are some of the qualities which are very, very interpersonal skills we call. So in a company also, we must have these type of qualities which will help in bonding of the people from different areas or different countries also. So we call that as a set and subsets also. So these are maybe these qualities are not that important as your IT skills and everything, but they are also required for winning the match or seeing that the company goes in a much faster way. You cannot go without communications or other, say small things are also there which are also required by the business. Adaptability means total adaptability. If you are adapted only 50%, then in that case your margins may not, profit may not improve to that extent, because fully you have to be geared up to the new situation, and you have to first see that you have to put it on paper. What are the qualities that are required? You talk with the competitors, you see in the market, and do a bit of mini research. Main qualities and some qualities that also you have to figure out. You have to write down on a piece of paper, and then that is, it takes time. I know that it takes 1 year, 2 years, 2 years also. So I'll give you in one example so that Orient, I think this point will be very clear. Larsen and Toubro company, I think I was having a workshop at Lonavala in Pune. In Khandala they were having. Then I was having one workshop just near some other hall was there. Then during the lunch hour, I spoke to that person who was giving that sessions over there. That was L&T employees, the senior employees were there, senior and junior. That was a combination of those employees. I asked, why this you are taking this session? What is the need? He said, sir, down the line, 5 years after that, we'll be changing our product. And for that reason, because today's product may be, outdated after some point of time. So we are going for a new product. So for that reason, we are giving training to the employees. Their mindset will change. They will know what are the advantages, disadvantages of the new product. 5 years, you can just see the gap. So adaptability, that is the reason I am trying to, you have to optimize, you have to think ahead, and you have to position yourself into a better tomorrow. So that is what is basically in is that. Because that business to business, I know it differs. The basic thing, it remains the same. It is communication. If you communicate well, and communication is a two-way process, and it is oral also and in writing also. So the wording and everything, it should be business-like. And I'm telling you, if you can do it, definitely. I have seen the people who are having good communication skills, they stay ahead in the race. All right, I think your question has been answered.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that other qualities which are also required, small qualities, maybe that you have to figure out from company to company. Because here the thing is that you cannot blanketly say universal, there is no universal formula for the same. But there may be skills in pharma industry, there may be in tourism industry, there may be in other industries also, that we have to see industry wise. And then you have to write down on a piece of paper, yes, this is the things that I require, and I have to be capable in order to stay in the race. It's very simple. It's not that very difficult. I'm telling you, because there is a roadmap that you have to keep, and according to the roadmap, you have to go. You have to see that your capability, it increases along with the situation. This is very important. See the situation, study the situation very fast. Today, I am telling you one thing very, very clear, that due to this corona, nobody knows what the new normal will be. Now, we are adapting slowly and steadily. Still, it is not complete. Nobody can say it is complete because we are still adapting. I don't know how many months or years this is going to take. Nobody knows. But we are adapting. You have to think, you have to take life as it comes. You cannot jump into conclusions. So the thing is that go on adapting as it comes. Just even though it is a snail's pace, I'm telling you, I don't think that you can go that fast also, because we don't know tomorrow. That's the problem. Uncertainty is there. So go slow as it comes, and the new normal you'll face with confidence. So this is basically the idea. Now, anyway, I am going to the next slide, which is a very big slide. Now, it is about the
Excuse me, sir.
yes, yes, yes.
So I had one doubt. I don't know who was the person, but someone spoke about Indigo and them reducing their flight prices, to which you said that they haven't adapted and it's not profitable for them.
Yeah, correct.
But sir, in
Now,
the current
Wilfred,
state, yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So in the current state where like transport was pretty much like it wasn't, there was no transport, and
Yeah, yeah,
when transport was open, they have reduced their prices, which has made people to travel,
yeah,
not
yeah,
just like people from offices, but even people traveling here to there just as a break or something. So haven't
yes,
they
yes.
actually like made, or not exactly made profit, but comparing to the whole era where the transportation was not there, haven't they actually made a profit from that comparison? Like,
See, I agree with you to some extent, Daniel. I am very happy that you have asked a very good question, a very pointed question. I think Tanmay, you have given that example, no, about that Indigo.
Yes, sir.
Can you answer this question? Can you answer
S-
this?
Sir, I am not sure about that, but I think during the time when Indigo reduced the prices, that time it was just after the lockdown. So that time generally people weren't traveling to some places for just a break.
Yeah. So, yeah, correct. I agree with Tanmay. Wilfred, I will just give you little modifications I'll make what Tanmay said because he said after the lockdown, that was a short-term exercise. But Wilfred, when you are working in a company, okay, you have to think little bit long-term also because ultimately survival is very important and sustainability. I use the word sustainability also because what happens, these short-term measures, that I agree. But if you carry out these measures continuously, I don't think the company will go in profit in a big way. Ultimately, aviation sector, I mean, this Indigo, I know that the share price is already 1800, 1900. They are doing very well. But I respect that business model. But the thing is that ultimately, don't forget that in a present world, you have to make money. And money should be in today's world because whichever company you are working, now aviation industry obviously it is not doing good. But aviation, I mean this Indigo, which Tanmay rightly pointed out, that Indigo definitely it is because they are definitely and share price of 1800 or 1750, definitely they are doing good. But that was a short-term measure which Tanmay said. But when as a company, when you are thinking about the vision of a company, you are thinking certain long terms also because when you are talking about the capability, then you have to be capable of handling different situations in order to make profit, in order to make sustainable company over there. So think long term because we'll be in the next slide, I'll be going for strategic planning. At that time you will come to know more about it. Don't think only short term because that is short term profits will not suffice for a long term. So in the next slides that I'll be putting in the teams also. Now you see basically when you are talking this in our syllabus, the strategy formulation and implementation. This is very important that I'll be asking in Vivas also. You have to be very careful about the strategy formulation. Now there are a number of slides that I have prepared. Now, I'll just give you a brief idea. I know that some 2-3 minutes I'll be giving you some break also, so that before going to the next slide. But before going to the next slide and going to the break, I'll just say that strategy is a long term as well as short term also. Don't forget there are some concepts. In last time also in Vivas I asked some questions to my students in MBA and even BBA also. So don't think actually some answers they are incorrect. The reason is this strategy can be long term, it can be short term also. Short term strategy, we call that as a tactics or mission, whatever you call. Short steps you have to take in that direction. For example, a student is there, he wants to go to for MBA. Then the first thing that he has in mind that he has to complete his BCA degree. That is this we call it as a mission or tactics. Slowly and steadily you have to complete this in order to get into the masters. And then of course your long-term goal is to enter the company. That is we call that as a vision. So like this you have to think the long-term strategy is nothing but having a vision in front of you, a broader objective there where you are going to reach. and everyone has to think. So just like that, the company also thinks in that respect. Oren, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I think should we take some 2-3 minutes break so that you'll be also fresh, and after that I'll be going for strategy formulation and implementation. Right? I'll just take about 4 to 5 minutes break. Now it is already 9 o'clock. 9:05 we'll assemble and we'll start over there. Good morning. Any other question is there, or should I go to the next strategy formulation? Yes, anybody can tell. Should I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the next slide. Yeah. Now, we are going to the strategy. As I already said, that basically this we have to define what is the business strategy. So strategy is a plan of action or goal designed to achieve a major goal. Now, major goal, obviously every company has got one goal, that is to make profits. Unless it has got money, it cannot survive for a longer period of time. So it sets a clear direction. In 1990s. Enterprise resource planning was in the front position of many e-business strategies. Now, you know, enterprise, what are the resources planning and everything I just explained. What are the resources of a company? Land, labor, material, human resource, or even, as I told you, knowledge is also one of the resource. So this basically we have to see that ERP, that is the reason this concept came. So ERPs were the first MIS to computerize a diverse set of business functions in an integrated way. Now in 90s, CRM also, you know, this customer relationship management became the e-business. Now customer relationship management is also very important because ultimately you are to focus on the customer and see that he's made happy. So because the customer is changing in 1990s, why we are referring to this 1990s? Because in 1991 we have already adopted this strategy, that is the LPG strategy, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So we have already accepted. Now in 1990s, CRM became the e-business strategy of choice. I hope you can see the slides from there, no? From there you can see the slides. Hello,
Yes, sir.
can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. This I'll be putting on the teams also. Don't worry. So supply chain management is another area where software and service vendors have made big promises. So results of the enterprises are mixed now, and many enterprises are experiencing growing pains. Now here the thing, we have to go for e-business in action. It is a framework for decision making, which has four stages. Now we are to stage one is planning of strategy. Now, as I told you, strategy is a long-term plan. It is a vision. It involves contextual, high-level analysis that may use the management tools as SWOT, that is SWOT analysis, gap analysis, pest analysis, etc. So, a primary difference from the regular business strategy is that electronic technology capabilities are often a key driver of the need or opportunity for strategy. Now, today, you are all BCS students, you know, basically the thing is that this technology capabilities already you have absorbed and more it will come. So they are the key driver of the need or opportunity for strategy. That means they help us in reaching your strategy uh, in a much faster space because electronic technology that helps. Then we are stage two, designing of the system. Now, strategic objectives are interpreted into practice project designs and plans, cost, time frames, and resource requirements are understood, and the results assessed against the strategic requirements. Now, as I told you, then even you have fixed up these targets and everything, objectives, they are very clear, visions are very clear, but you have to see that what are the plans you reach, what are the cost, what are the time periods, what are the resource, how much people you will be requiring, how much investments has to be made. So all these things are also very, very important. Unless you know this, then you will not be able to reach that particular area. So designing of a system. So once even your objectives they are very clear, of course it should be very specific, the objectives, and according to that you have to that plans, sub plans, and everything that should be there. Then implementation. The plan developed in stage number two is executed. Now implementation of the plan, that is also very, it should not be only on paper. So paper plan will not be much useful. You have to see that its implementation part, that is also very important. So the key issues are that you continue to involve stakeholders and to aim for early wins. So ultimately, as I told you, once your plan, this is in paper, then in that case, you can also involve the stakeholders. Now, stakeholders means the staff, even the customer, so you can also take, because I have seen companies, companies in Europe and Scandinavia or even in US also, now they are taking the customers along with them, the key customers. I'm not telling, and they keep on rotating also, so that every customer benefits. I mean, the company benefits from their ideas. This is also, so you can have, this short wins we call. So it is imperative to make sure that people involved in using the system have adequate training before it goes live. Now here you are also to see that these whatever you have decided, forecasted. In that case, the people should also get the necessary training. The people means the staff. This should undergo, because customer has told you, yes, he wants this. Then what are the things that are required for that? And as I told you, that customer, what he wants, number one, cost effectiveness, number two, delivery of service, then three, quality. Now, this is the thing that he wants primarily. So are you giving all these things? Because these are some of the things which the customer definitely wants. He doesn't want, he wants the quality which should be the best. He wants cost effectiveness. He wants the pricing of the product should be very reasonable, very competitive. That also is there. And thirdly is faster delivery of service. So delivery of the service, that is also very important. Don't forget that. And that too fast. So performance management. So the project needs to be evaluated for specification, time and budget compliance. Now, budget. Budget is again your yearly plan, financial plans. We can have a budget for short term. Basically, budget is there for 1 year, 12 months. You can have a sub budgets also. You can break it into pieces, and you can have a budget month-wise budgets. So that also you can have how much to spend on the, say for example, in April, how much you are going to spend, in May, how much you are going to spend, then June, how much you are going to spend, July. This way you can definitely per purchase budget, profit budget, commission budget. There are so many types of various budgets which are there. Now for management people, especially when you will be working, don't forget that this budgeting exercise is very important during the start of the year. So it has to be evaluated. That means specification means the correct figures should be there, not those vague figures. I have seen in some companies, they give me vague figures. See, you should be realistic. You should be practical. Don't write for the sake of writing over there, just to kill time. This is not correct. Time and budget means those whatever you are thought about it, that should be time bound. And you must also measure the business performance of the strategic initiatives. So measurement is also important. The business, if you cannot measure it, what is the use of having this plan in paper? So we have to see that the measurement, for example, say sales, you want say 10 lakh sales in the month of say April. Okay, then in that case, what is the position now, whether it is 8 lakhs or 7 lakhs or 11 lakhs? So we call that as a business performance. Obviously, the performance is measured by increase in the number of customers, profits, and sales. So ultimately, that is where you are going to measure the performance. Then we are delivering value is the key goal of e-business or any business for that matter. Now, delivering value, as I'm telling you, value means we have to see the value addition every year should be there. We call customer wants something extra, something more. So are you giving him? Sometimes, like that. Quality, obviously, you cannot dilute. So that is the key goal of e-business. Are you giving him something more in order to attract the customer? Customer should not leave you. That is the reason I told you that you take him in the customer service meetings also. So value creation can occur anywhere along the anywhere along the value chain. So Michael Porter's value chain model, you know very well, in 1985, the model sparked a radical change in management thinking, and it has been used in business. Michael Porter's, you know that basically he started with that value chain model in 1985. It was published. Then there is a Saranen in 2006 made a strong case for property managing businesses in such a multi-channel world. They put forward that building a successful multi-channel e-business requires customer focus and utility. So ultimately, again, we are referring to the term is customer focus. Because there, if you divert from this, I mean, if you are not focusing on the customer, then you are doing a very big mistake. So customer focus and utility, development of technology and services. Now here I am telling you because development of technology means the technology continuously has to be upgraded. We call that as a development. Don't use this old technology and services for giving services to the customer. So maturity of the business models, every business model has got some maturity. Don't think that the business model is going to work throughout your entire 100 years or 200 years. So that is also maturity of the business model. You have to observe the competitors also. You have to study the market. Networking and outsourcing, that also you have to see that outsourcing today holds the key to success. It is only because of the thing we want faster services to be given, cost effective. So you can go for better ways to outsource. Now this outsourcing and then improving the service levels, we have to see that the service is given at the proper time, place, quality, and everything. Then it should be of a very high order. Then increase access to information. The customer obviously on the website, your website which is there, you can give all the information what you want regarding the product or any other thing which the customer is interested. So all your whatever you want to show on the website, you can definitely show on the websites. Mass customization. Now customization, customer obviously he is not the same as it was some 30 years back. So he's going mass customization means basically the customer also wants a particular service or product. So according to that you have to give. So then increase process transparency. So the process also, the customer is watching you. You can call him during his leisure time whenever he has got time, if he has. So process transparency should be there. It should be very clear. There are no flaws, no weaknesses. To increase job flexibility. Now that I don't have to say about the job flexibility because today also we are having then reduced transaction processing. This is very important. Now reduce the transaction processing and everything means lesser time should be there for processing. This can only be done by e-business models. That is the reason I am telling you I will be going for the advantages of e-business after this. So reduced transaction processing. The transaction should be processed much faster. As I told you, only in e-business models this can happen. You can have a channel over there. So in that case, the processing part and everything, because in traditional world, a long time back, we had nearly so many people, that is people sitting and processing that particular purchase orders. So it took time, then officer has to authenticate, confirm, then again the somebody else's signature is there, then used to send by registered post. So it took nearly 7 8 days or even more for this purpose. But when you are talking about e-business, there is something which can be handled in even 5 minutes also. So this is reduction in transaction processing. So whatever if you receive a sales order, or if you are going for a purchase order, it should be faster process should be there. Then easier administration. Again, I don't want to tell anything about this easier administration. The administration obviously should be very efficient. Then again, minimum people, more technology, and it should be done in a much faster way because well, whenever anybody is giving an order, then for only processing and administration, somebody is on leave and somebody is out of station, all these things were there. But today, this easier administration in the sense everything is mechanized and it becomes easier also for your order. Whether somebody is on leave or somebody has gone for a conference or somebody has gone here and there, your work doesn't suffer. Then knowledge management, I don't have to emphasize on knowledge management because knowledge is where you are gaining knowledge, how it has to be managed in a proper way. That basically knowledge management skills you must have the right type of knowledge because so knowledge is just like an ammunition which you are having in your head that can be used at the right time when for the sake of the benefit of the company. Then skill improvement, again I told you just a few minutes back, the updation of skills. Again, this is very important because the skills also have to be updated in all respects. What are the requirements in business capability we have studied? What are the skills that are required for that? Then you have to update that accordingly. Then reduced transaction cost. Now, transaction cost, obviously today we have so many ways, that is RTGS system and all these things, the transaction cost is also can be minimized. Then we have greater integration with supply chain over there, improved processing, improved returns, greater transparency of information, increased customer retention. Now, this is a very important thing because this is concept relating to customer retention. Customer relationship management should be of a very high order. Customer should be happy, he should be retained because a satisfied customer or a happy customer is an asset to the organization. So you have to understand that retention of a customer is very, very important. Rather than going for in search of new and new customers, you can definitely see that the existing customer is retained. Especially I am talking about the most valued customers, high net worth customers who are giving you more and more business. So please don't disturb them. Constantly interact with them. See what they want. What are their desires? Because a lot of changes are taking place, and in that case, it is always better to take his views, accept them, or if it is not possible immediately, you can inform them. The feedback can be given and improve the system flows. Now, system flows also should be that better research. Of course, I don't have to say anything about research. Now, research means it is for a better product, better quality of service. What exactly can be done? Today, I am seeing in most of the companies, we have some research persons and they go. Not only the product research, but the process research also is there because we have to see that research means how we can serve the customer better with a better product or the services and all these things they come. Research is a very big word. Research, that means you are going and searching again what exactly we can do, some better products if we can bring in the market, like I just mentioned about innovations. So that can also be there. In research, that also you can very well bring it. Then obviously I'll just come and again I'll come to the slides because here, as I told you, when you are going to strategies, now these are some of the things that may happen. You have it, but ultimately the thing is that we have also to see that strategy implementation is a different part. What are the risks that I'll be telling now? But here we have also to see that, just hold on for a minute, I think that slide. Yes. Now, you see, there are so many things which are there, especially in this e-business model. I'll be discussing and then I'll go again for this, I think. I'll just come over there. Okay. Now, First of all, you are going to the e-business model. Now, as I told you, the customer, obviously, when you are going for a strategy implementation, whatever you are decided, now you are going to implement it over there. For that reason, you are implementing the e-business model. Now, e-business model ultimately aims at faster service, faster delivery, and less transaction cost also, because customer will not be happy if you keep on increasing the cost. So cost should come down in a big way. Now, I'll tell you, in Vietnam, there is one country over there. Now, they said that even we are not able to, will not any cost which is there or any taxes we are not going to take from any company for at least minimum period 5 to 7 years. If you do business in Vietnam, so countries they are, competing with India or other countries so that you can start any business over there and you don't pay any taxes also. Apart from this also, transaction cost, because customers basically, if you do business over there, then definitely all these things are not there. You don't have to pay anything. That means the cost of doing business in Vietnam, I'm just giving you a knowledge for knowledge sake, because Vietnam is such a country that they say that you don't give anything, you do business. So this is some of the strategies that some of the countries they are doing it. It is only to attract the better talent and see that in the long run, ultimately, the country benefits. Now, even I am seeing that even Arabic countries, they are also competing in this regard. Obviously, they forego to some extent, yes, we don't want any taxes also, but you come. So there is a competition in the world now. Now, this is how the companies, they are coming in a big way. Even Vietnam is not a very rich country, but they are seeing the future. In this case, when we talk about a strategy, we have to think about the future. We are not thinking about today. We have to think about the future. So in that case, we have to position ourselves with our long-term goals. So in Vietnam also, they are thinking, yes, we will not get any income for say 5 years, but we are positioning for that, because once the company comes over there, then why they will leave? So like this, you have to think ahead also. That is the reason in strategy, we think about long-term. So we have to see that in e-business models, I'll be going for advantages, disadvantages also. Now, here you have to see that basically skilling, reskilling, learning, relearning, interaction with the customer, because customer is always looking at you, especially I'm talking about the high net worth customers. So these customers should be with you. They should be on board of the company. Then only these things, the miracles there, and continuously see customers I have seen in Europe also, because if they are there, then they will give you some valuable suggestions, some advice or something like that, which you have to accept sometimes. And you can also tell them, because they are also stakeholders. In India also this concept has come. I know here also we are following the same concept in big companies. L&T we have. So this like this we have to take the stakeholders on board. In e-business model, basically another thing which I'll be going for that is procurement. Now I'll be asking question. Let's see who answers this question. Wait a minute. I am going to ask who is going to. Yes, Aman Garg. Can you answer this question? What is meaning of the word procurement in e-business? Yes, Aman. At least make a try.
Uh,
Yes, Aman.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I'm not sure of the answer. Procurement in e-business. I mean, procure means to, how to explain? Sir, I don't know, sir.
No. You can give me a word. Don't worry. Don't worry. Even if you are wrong, I'll help you.
Sir, procure means to, acquire something or maybe obtain something, basically. So in
Okay.
E, okay. So yeah, but I'm not sure how what it means in e-business, sir.
Okay, right, right. Okay, Shruti, can you add up to Aman what you said just now? Shruti, can you
Yes.
help Aman? Yes, Shruti.
So, I think procurement is basically the takeaways that we have from a particular thing. So, according to me, it will be the services and goods in the case of e-business.
Okay, okay. Any other last answer before I go ahead? Yes, who can go another? Yes, Anubhav Jain. Anubhav, can you express your views? What are procurements? Anubhav? Okay, next, Arpit. Come on now. You have to wake up now. What is procurement in simple terms? Okay, what is Oran? Can you express? What is procurement?
So buying something or acquiring something. So I think I would say the same thing what Aman said.
Okay. Now, I'll just express what is because we'll be going to the procurement term. It's a very big word. Now, the thing is that procurement and buying, these are two different words. Now, you have been in the college last year. I was also there. I was also teaching some other classes. Now, you see, basically, a buying activity and procurement, what is the difference that you should know. Buying means suppose you are going to the college canteen. Everybody has gone to the college canteen. I know. I also like college canteen. I used to eat sandwiches, tea, and everything. So there, when I go to the college canteen, is it procurement? Yes, Oran.
No, sir.
Yes, correct. So there I am buying. So there is a difference between buying and procurement. Aman, you get this concept clear. Now here the thing is that I am buying a sandwich. I am buying a cup of tea along with it. So that is not procurement. I am not procuring over there. I am just buying over there so that my stomach will be full. That particular sandwich, and then I will be having a cup of coffee or a tea. That's okay. So I am going for a buying activity, and he is selling that particular product. He is selling that product to you. So here the thing is that, or to me also. So the thing is that that is a selling activity. So I am buying from him. He is selling over there. Now you have to understand the difference between procurement and buying. Now I am buying a sandwich. I am not procuring from him. Now, in e-business, basically, you are talking about procurement because procurement is a very big word. It is a concept of marketing. Now, here in college canteen, you must understand that that person who is selling the that sandwich or cup of tea, now he is not marketing, but he is selling, as Oran just now said. He is selling. She has used the word sell. So selling is a different than marketing. Selling is a part of marketing. You have to understand that marketing and selling. See, marketing is a very big word. It is a set and selling is a subset. So selling basically, he is selling me a sandwich. He is not, see, I am buying from him. I am not procuring because this selling activity is a very short-term activity, short-lived activity. Once you pay that money in the counter, say 15, 20 rupees, whatever it is, your job is over and his job is also over. He has given you that particular product which you have already accepted, and then you move around and you go to the class. So this is basically he's selling, he is not marketing. So marketing basically it is a very big word. The reason is this, that marketing is more scientific and it is long term. It is absolutely not short term business because you are creating relations in case of marketing. While as in case of selling, you are not creating relations over there. If that person is selling me a sandwich, then obviously selling a sandwich is not basically a long-term activity. He doesn't want to create long-term relations with me or you also, because he knows very well, the seller knows very well that you as a student or myself as a professor, I will not be there for a very long period of time, because his purpose is to earn money that he has earned. He has given you a sandwich, he has given you a cup of tea, and the activity or that process or that transaction is over. Have you got it, Oran?
Yes, sir.
Is the concept clear? Aman?
Yes, sir.
Aman,
Yes.
is the
Yes,
concept?
sir.
Now you
Yes, sir.
see there is a difference. Now, since you are going and we are studying e-business, don't forget that we are going for a marketing concept rather than a selling concept. So these are the some of the basics that I explained. Why I explained? Because your concept should be very clear. Because in this e-business models, we are going towards marketing activity. We are creating relations with the customer, long-term relations, not like that sandwich person who is selling you a sandwich. And sometimes you are going on the roads also. I also go and I have a cup of coffee or something product over there. So that is a selling activity. You should differentiate between selling and marketing. How you can equate the two? Selling is a part of marketing that you have to remember. Even in why was also, if I ask you a question, you have to give these answers. So you should remember the college canteen like that. So here, when we go for procurement, now here's the thing. Why I am telling you all these things? Because the transaction, see, the customer basically in that case in e-business models, you are creating a long-term relations with that particular customer. Okay. Now for that reason, he wants efficiency. You don't want the customer to go out like that sandwich person. Say he is giving me a sandwich and I'm going. I have finished my job. I have paid the money. I have had a cup of tea and I'm going from that counter. So he has also given me the sandwich. He is looking here and there and he is finding some other customer. But here we are not doing the same thing. Aman, did you get it? First of all,
Yes, sir.
Aman,
Yes.
now you got the concept clear? Sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Tanmay, did you get the concept clear first of all?
Yes, sir.
Because I will, yeah, because I will ask in the why was. Then in that case, I don't want wrong answer. Yes, Akansha, did you get the concept clear?
Yes, sir.
In e-business, don't forget that basically we are indulging in a long-term scientific relations, because marketing basically we are going on a scientific basis. We are not going on unscientific basis like I am having going over there and having a cup of tea or a sandwich. So that basically it is not a scientific way, because I am just fulfilling my need. I am hungry. I am going over there. I just had a sandwich and finished. My job is over. So
Sir,
yeah. Tanmay, go
sir,
on.
because it is the first concept which are going through with the first class. So basically, if we are not getting some doubts, if we are getting some doubts, can we ask in the next lecture with this concept
Yeah.
itself?
No. Tanmay, anything, there is nothing, right? You can put in the chat room also. I'll give the answer. You don't worry. The slides will be there
Yeah.
in support. So you don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Even though it is your first lecture or second lecture, absolutely, I'm with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Don't worry. Wilfred, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Will, you are okay? Shruti, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Now these concepts, because don't see e-business here when we are talking of in wait a minute. In e-business, you should understand that we are here to create long-term relations. Why? We are investing a huge amount in technology, manpower. Okay. Then in that case, why we are making this investment? Obviously to get some good returns. Okay. Now, when you want to get good returns, that means we want some investments to be done. Okay. Now I am going to the slide again because there I kept it like that. Just wait a minute. Now, before I go ahead, now I just want to bring to your notice that just hold on, because what are the advantages, so that you will also know advantages of e-business model. Now, I think last time also I have shown you this slide. Quicker and easier communication should be there. So in e-business, what happens? The communication is much easier. As I told you, I gave you a lot of examples. Customer is saying, supplier is saying, and immediately he gives the order. When your inventory is going down, then immediately you can get into contact with the supplier. And see, first of all, why I'm telling these advantages, because last time I think I have done this, but there are some students who are coming. So I'll just, in short, in 2 minutes, I'll just finish it up. Quicker and easier communication, strengthen the market capabilities. I'm using the word market capabilities which you have studied today. So here the thing is that it is very important that e-business, you have to strengthen the market capabilities and reach. Reach in the sense you have to reach the customer now. Because of the internet and everything, he may be in Brazil, he may be in, say, different countries. Then there is increased hour of operation. Now in e-business, you should also remember that we are working for not only 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, but maybe longer hours. Then access to broader information through research. In e-business, you have, as I told you, research is also the focus, because we should know where we stand and where exactly you have to reach over there. So reducing the cost of doing business. Now here again I am repeating, the cost of doing business should be lower. Now, when it can happen, such as using online banking and reducing stationery and postage cost. So here we know that in e-business models, this can happen. Only the cost has to go down. If you have a total 100% e-business model, then definitely all these advantages you can see, because 24 hours operation, then broader information is there through research, that also you can put on the website. Then marketing capabilities, because sometimes the customer may be in different areas, there also you can reach. So in a way, you are increasing the number of customers also. And communication also is faster. You are taking advantage of net. And then we have the opportunities to adopt new business models and develop tailored customer support. Now, as I told you, this customer support, which is there, it is basically essential for you to develop. So here then you can adopt the new business models faster. It is only because of the thing already you have, in this e-business model, you have invested large amount of money, and customers also, the thing they are saying, yes, we want this. Immediately that adaptation will be much faster over there. So customer is happy, you are happy, because of this e-business model, which has already been in other countries. And here we are also adopting the same model over here. So I don't think it will be much of a problem over there. Now, here the thing is that what are the benefits? I am just telling you, because reduction in administrative and operative cost. So here the thing, your administration and operative cost is reduced. Then reduction of inventory cost also of various goods. Now inventory means stock. The cost of holding inventory or stock, it is very, very high. So there I'll be doing this, I think, in unit 2. Sorry, because I think online EDI, no. Wait. So in that case, you have to understand that inventory management, it's a very important aspect. That in inventory means stock that you are holding, because that has got a cost over there. So that also can be saved, because you don't have to maintain huge amount of inventory with you. The reason is this, then you have to have insurance cost, then bank interest cost. All these things, they come into the picture. Reduction of the inventory cost. Then reduction of the cost of procurement. I told just now only. Procurement means through e-channels. You can directly talk with the suppliers, that you can place an order on e-channels and see that the cost of procurements of the raw materials, we call that as a just-in-time inventory. So immediately that inventory will come as per your requirements. So when the inventory is down, the stock levels are down, immediately even the supplier will also come to know that the levels of the stock has gone down. So in that case, he will also say that he will send the depleted the stock over there. So the cost of inventory, obviously it is not there. Then administration and operating cost of business, that will be also reduced, because you don't need lot of people in administrative department for signing the purchase orders and all these things. They are not required. So operating cost also goes down, inventory cost also goes down, cost of procurement also goes down of materials. Then customer service and satisfaction, that increases in e-business. Customer service, obviously, because he is a happy person now, you are listening to him. And secondly, he is satisfied because faster delivery of services, everything online, and increase communication efficiency. Communication is everything. You can also take advantage of other messaging systems. So there also, like WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, there so many are there. So like that you can also, there is a communication efficiency with employees, customers, vendors, suppliers, everybody is a happy lot. Then increase revenue and profit margin by giving prompt service also. So you can very well see that your profits, they also give, I mean, grow, and revenue also, that increases. Revenue means the money that you are getting in the system. So that also increases. So you can see the effects of customer service and satisfaction. This is very important, as the customer is the focal point, which you have already discussed. So ultimately, this customer is on board. So he will also suggest some improvements, which you can very well see. Now, first of all, then there are, what are the objectives of e-business? To reduce the process errors, because in e-business, there is very less likelihood of this process errors. In process, basically, since it is you are doing electronically, then in that case there are negligible process errors. Then we have to improve the quality of service, because quality of service means, again, there is improvement in your revenue or profits. That is also there. So to free staff to provide value-added services. Now, staff should not be engaged in routine work, such as purchase order processing, sales order, and all these things. Duplication of work can be avoided, and you can free them for some customer service related work that will help you. You can send them to customers or other purposes where there will be more efficient deployment of staff. So to improve the morale of customers also. So customers also feel happy if somebody is coming to them, if the company representative, they are coming and asking for some improvement in the products or some advice or something like that. They also feel elevated. You can use your staff for this purpose. You can send them, provided they have time to listen to him and take the time and everything on net. That will be improve these things also. So moral of the customers, to give people tools and time they need. Now here also the thing is that people will also be absorbed, because the thing is that they are doing all those routine duties which are redundant, and sometimes they are time consuming, and people, they are tired of doing that same work again and again. So in that case, you can definitely go. I mean, these people can be better utilized in some other work, like customer area. That is the focus over there. Now, before I am going, yes, now I want to, because we have got some time left. Now I can, I want to ask, interact with some students who are not interacted. Let us see who answers my question. Can, I think, who is this? Deepa Kumari. Can you answer this question? What are the advantages of e-business now? Yes, Deepa Kumari, you can tell. Any one which you know. Yes. What are the
Hello.
advantages of? Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Availability, there are reduce time and money spent, like e-business reduce the time reduce the timing, like we go to the offline mode and we go to malls and shop, so it reduce the time and money spent is also increases.
Okay.
And customer services also there's.
Absolutely. So you mean to say that there is an increase in customer service also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, so
And
you are
sir,
happy.
increased hours of operations also.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
You remember in the slides whatever has been done? Very nice. You jotted down or what?
So yes, sir. Actually, I noted down the main points, sir.
Very nice. But I'll be
Not
putting
the.
in the teams also. Don't worry.
Okay,
All these
okay.
things will be
Thank you,
there
sir.
in teams. Everything what we are doing in class, you don't have to worry. All my slides that will be there.
Yes,
So
yes.
very good answer. And I am really happy to see that she has noted down on the points what we have done. And
Yes.
of course, I want any doubts on anything, you can go in the chat rooms also and discuss. You have seen the advantages, and yes, I'll ask someone else now. Let us
Okay,
see
sir.
who answers. Yes, Harshneet, can you tell me what is the need for e-business now in today's world? Earlier, we were not needing this concept was not there. Harshneet, can you tell what is the need of e-business? Tell me any one need. Why do we need e-business model? Any one you can tell. Yes, are you there? First of all. Okay, I'm going to the next one. Who can answer? Yes, Himang Yadav. What is the need for e-business? Very simple question. Come on. I hope you are not sleeping in the class. Okay. One more. Dheeraj Sethi. What is the need for e-business? Do we really require e-business in today's world? Yes, come on. You have to answer because in Vivas the questions will come. I'm trying to train you. Yes, Dheeraj. Yes, Oran, can you tell me why we require e-business? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Oran, Wilfred? Oh yes, Nirmit, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. To thrive in business and to survive, we have to be updated with the technology, and that
Correct.
is why e-business comes into place.
But earlier it was not there. Say 20, 30 years back, e-business model was not there. Why suddenly we have woke up?
So just because of the changes and to be updated with the trends.
Correct. But the Nirmit, I'll tell you one thing more that I told you some last lecture also. Customer is not the same as he was earlier. It
Yes,
is
sir.
only because of the, yes, customer is not the same now. Customer has changed. Yes, Tanmay.
One thing I would like to add here, that is for e-businesses. So I guess earlier the customers were not up to the trends and all. Like they didn't want this and that, so they always stick to one particular thing. It can be fashion or anything. But now, because customer interactions is more, that is the reason e-business has come to the market, I guess.
Yeah,
Because so if you just take an example of Amazon or Flipkart or anything, so they always like to analyze what the customer wants in any business.
Absolutely. So there is one thing
May
that
I?
again I want to share because time is also very limited.
Sir,
And yeah, who is it?
Sir Dheeraj.
Son,
Yeah, Dheeraj, you
yeah.
can add something. Why we need e-business? Can you tell me,
So,
Dheeraj?
just like 20, 30 years ago, there was not much technology. It was not portable. Just like most of our e-business we do from our smartphones. And
Okay,
20, 30, just like in 2009, smartphones uh, came. I mean, it was much more in the market. Then the e-business started much.
okay. Now,
So
good
may I?
answer. Yeah, who
I
is
would
it?
like to add
Can
some.
you spell out the name?
Nishkam, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, I think e-business, we are using e-business or e-businesses are introduced just to increase the accessibility of products to the customer. Like
Mhm.
now I can access products from, I can order products from anywhere. First, I wasn't having this option. So
Correct. No, I
this,
am happy with the answers, Nishkant. Any other specific answer you can give me, some pointed answer so that the class will benefit?
So we can say that the e-business or the use of the technology has made it very flexible for everyone
Correct.
from both the ends, maybe at a business or maybe at a customer side.
Correct. Now, the before I end up, because we have 2 minutes, I will just tell you one answer which you already know. I hope everybody is listening to me. Yes, Deepa Kumari, you are listening what I am saying? Yes, Deepa Kumari, Oran, are you listening? All of you.
Yes, sir.
Now, the thing is that, in 1991, we have opened up the market to foreign competition. And privatization, liberalization, globalization already has come. Customer is not the same because of the internet, and he's looking at the internet and what is going on in other countries. He's looking at the products, he's looking at the services, and he is a changed person today. So don't take customer for granted because he knows everything, and then he expects some better deal with the company. So that is the reason I am trying to tell you that the companies has to go along with the customer because his preferences, taste, preferences, choices, everything is changing. The world is changing that we know. That is the reason I told you take the customer on board. He is a stakeholder. Call him for meetings. I think that will definitely work. And that strategy is already been implemented in European and other countries. So that strategy we can definitely follow in India also. So that will work. Bring the customer with you. I'm telling you, cross section of the customers, you can bring some influential customers. I think that will be a good idea. So I'm taking the attendance because 10 o'clock already is there. I'll be putting something on your teams also, and definitely it will be there, and you can access it in chat box. I'll also reply. You don't have, you can go online also. There will be a lot of notes. Yes, I have downloaded the attendance list, and because it is already, you have other lectures